Good morning, Todd.
Morning.
I'm wondering from a coach's perspective, the difference in depth on your team from last year and especially from before you got here. What has that allowed you to do in terms of managing the game and attacking the other team's matchups and what have you?
Well, the difference in depth comes from adding different ingredients to our team. We have some bigger, stronger, heavier wingers than we've had in the past. You think of Maroon, Cassian, Lucic, those type of people. And then it allows you to tinker with lines. Sometimes you need a bigger line, a stronger line. You're looking for speed. You put different players together. So we have more variety of different players. Our health, as I said the other day, we've got 7 players drawing salary right now that are injured. So we'd like to get healthy and really know what we have. Some of the role players that play and have a significant impact on the forecheck and that type of stuff are still out. So we're still not really sure what we have. But the depth is greater. It's deeper on the blue line. We're already 2 injuries in there, and we're still able to hold our own. So Peter and his staff have done a tremendous job in creating that in a fairly short time frame. And it's something that we're going to have to continue to do as an organization.
Todd, maybe just, this is an experience for the team and for the players, and contrast that with the fact that you still got a game to play here. So take us through that process.
When we met this morning, prior to going on the ice, like we usually do, talk to the team about taking it all in and enjoying it. That's what you're here for. This is, for some, it'll be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. For others, they've done it a few times already. But take it all in, enjoy it. Create some memories with your family, with your friends, but the puck is going to drop, and the 2 points have the same value that they would have if we were playing at the MTS Center, and we have to be prepared. I thought our practice was honest this morning. It was to the point, which was a good thing for us. We needed it, and we know that they're going to be excited and pumped about playing in front of their own home fans here in this big building. So we're encouraging them to enjoy it. But we also know that we've got a tough task ahead of us.
Todd, you've done one of these before. What's your advantage in terms of glare or the open sky or all the elements that come into that add to the hockey game?
Well, I would say it's almost it's a little bit different right now. Like before we even approach the game, it's being the visiting team. When we were the home team in San Jose, it seemed like we were planning for it. We had meetings, we had families coming in, there were people all over the place. We've just kind of come in as the Oilers, and we've treated it like another road game. It's a little different that we're here 2 days early, but I think that's an advantage to us. We don't have as many distractions. Once the play starts in the ice conditions, we're going to be playing on the same ice surface. We're going to have to deal with the sun the same way the Jets will. I think spatial awareness in these outdoor games is a little bit different. I found that at Levi Stadium. The rink, I don't know if it feels smaller, it feels like the boards are shorter. It's just different. And the quicker you can adapt and adjust, I think the better off you are. And one team will likely do that better than the other.
Todd, I understand that last night the young players got to interact with the alumni. They're going to see guys today wearing the Oilers crest. What do you want them to take from those older guys as you're trying to build this team?
Well, it was one of the best events I've been involved in at the National Hockey League level. To have the number of alumni that we have here in Winnipeg right now for this event, interacting with our young group is really important. I think we had Jesse Puljujärvi, who at 18 would have been the youngest Oiler, all the way up to probably guys in their mid-70s. And to hear them talk about the history in the past, I think is really important. But they didn't talk about winning cups. They didn't talk about having parades. They talked about what it took to get there, and being good teammates and taking care of each other. And they shared those stories. So it was valuable. I'd like to think our players' ears were wide open. They're taking that in. I said in the past when we closed Rexall down and we had that alumni group there that when they're around, they keep us honest, they keep us humble, and we need that as a group sometimes. So encourage them to be around, encourage them to be chatting with our players.
I want to follow up with Connor in particular. Like, I don't want to make comparisons because I don't think they're fair to Gretzky and Messier. But so what is fair and what is sort of valid that he should take from those guys as leaders and just the face of a franchise?
Well, and again, it isn't fair because we're talking about a 19-year-old that is mature beyond his years, but he hasn't lived through the 20s yet. He hasn't lived through the 30s yet. And he's going to get there eventually. Gretzky, Messier, and the whole crew as you go down, they have a tremendous amount of life experience now. They continue to learn things even after they were done that they apply to the hockey world. But for Connor and the rest of the group, just the way they carry themselves, the way they're ambassadors for the Oilers, for the game. Those are important things, but the stories they tell, they had a lot of fun playing the game, they won a lot of games, but they didn't emphasize they weren't emphasizing the Stanley Cups or the parades or anything. They were talking a lot about the process that it took to get there.
Todd, you mentioned that you're missing 7 guys and you don't quite know where you're at as a hockey club, but during the 4-1 start, how close have you come to seeing your hockey team play the way you envision it will?
Perhaps the closest was our last game against St. Louis. Prior to that, it was evident with my reaction to a couple of games. We weren't completely or very satisfied with the way we were playing. We were giving up way too much. Chances against early. We thought we were going to outscore our mistakes on a nightly basis, and that doesn't happen in this league. So we're still getting there. We're 5 games into a 82-game season. We got a lot of work to do. You could probably put the 30 of us up here as head coaches, and we'd all be telling you the same thing. It's just early in the season, and we know we've got a long way to go.
Todd, it's the same 2 points and all that, but it's also a very much bigger stage in a lot of ways. And from that point of view, when you look at even at his young age, McDavid's history and some comparisons to the obvious guys that are going to play this afternoon, he seems to enjoy that larger stage, and you saw it over in in Toronto with you. Do you have kind of interesting expectations for him coming into this thing because of that?
Well, for us, I don't think I can start pulling Connor out of the group and, for us as a group. And he's our leader. He's wearing, obviously, the C, and he leads by example on a nightly basis. So he's got to get to the forefront, and he has risen to the occasion. But to say it's going to be all on Connor, to say that I'm excited about watching him, I always am. But there has to be an us element to get it done. And the alumni last night, that's what they were telling us. That's the message that they were telling us. It's us. It's not individuals. So the group as a whole will be looking towards stepping up. Connor leading.
I guess further to that, Todd, I think when you came in and Peter came in, there was a lot of talk about changing the culture around this team. Where do you think you're at in this process? Because you're still a young team and you're still, as you mentioned, trying to figure out what you have. But do you see any shift in that regard, just the general culture around the team, and what's that process like right
I think
now?
there's a few areas that we've made strides in 5 and 87 games. One is the mental aspect, the ability, and last year I kept using the term hold your hand a little longer, hold it, don't fold. That has grown. We've got stronger in that area, so mentally we're stronger. Our belief system's gone up a little bit more. I think we're a little more unified as a group or as a team. We take care of each other a little bit better than we have in the past, and so that part of it is good. Systematically and term-wise, coaches use terms for different things. The players are more comfortable with that now. They understand between periods. If you're talking about a situation, they're not looking at you glassy-eyed and going, "What is this crazy guy talking about?" Like, they get the language now. They're able to adapt and change quickly. The makeup of the team is a little bit different, as we spoke earlier. The size, the ability to grind it out a little bit more. It's not just freewheeling hockey. We still have that skating element, but we have tools that now allow us to play in different types of games and have a chance at success.
Todd, based on practice today, it looks like Yessa might be back in there after getting scratched the last couple games. Just the thought of, you know, if you decide to deploy him and give him that opportunity to play against Patrick Laine, who they won the World Junior Championship with last year.
Yeah, they're both tremendous players. You know, going where they did in the draft, and to be able to together put up tremendous numbers at the World Junior Championships last year really speaks volumes of both of them. And I know that they have a tremendous amount of respect for each other. I'm sure they're going to want to outplay each other, just like natural rivals do. But yes, we'll likely get that opportunity tomorrow, and we look forward to him contributing to a successful day.
Todd, you've seen Mark Scheifele the last couple of years. What'd you learn about him at the World Cup, being around him on that everyday basis?
A hell of a player, mature, strong student of the game, wanting to get better every day. Took his craft extremely serious. Had the ability to play both wing and center. Very good release. Kind of giving you our scouting report on him, hey? Sounds like a pretty good player, though, doesn't it? Which you guys know here in Winnipeg. Like, he's a tremendous young man. He's part of what the NHL should be excited about, those young players that are finding ways to contribute. And I thought his leadership skills were very good there as well.